Right, you guys should be able to hear me now. Hey peeps. Let me put this where you can see me. There you go. Can you hear me now, guys? Yeah, I can't do that. I can't go on voice chat and stuff like that when I'm on this because I did use that stream one that I know that Antscapes uses, but I find because I've not paid for it, it doesn't do the high resolution. So when I zoom in on the ants, excuse me guys, when I zoom in on the ants, it gets all pixelated. So this is why I prefer, just for the moment anyway, to do it via the YouTube at the moment. So I hope everyone's okay, and it's good to see you all come along. Now, my life's took a big upside down at the moment, so everything's a mess for me. So when it comes to my videos, I think I'm gonna be fairly inconsistent going forward. Yeah, that's it, StreamYard. Yeah, I'm going to be fairly inconsistent going forward now. Looking for, I had to show you because I was working. Sorry. Yeah, so my life's so when it comes to consistency with videos, I'm going to be slightly off for a little bit. But where I will do, if I can't, like this weekend when I wasn't able to get a video out, I'm hoping that I'll be doing live streams like this where I can give you guys an update. So as always, guys, if you've got any questions or anything like that, you have an echo. I don't know why, because this is the only thing playing. Unless you've got me, somebody else has got me in the background in the chat that you're in, I don't know. But anyway, as always, fire questions at me. If you've got anything for me, I will let you know. No, it's just you. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, if you've got any questions for me, by all means, fire them at me. If there's any of my Connollys that you want to see, by all means, fire them at me as well. I'm more than happy to show you what I want. I'm probably going to give you a bit of a round robin anyway. I will talk about towards the end what the issues with my life are at the moment, so you'll kind of understand how are the Geminata. Exotic. You know, I've been watching my videos, have you, mate? Myodermermics. I will show Myodermermics, and you're going to hate me for it. I think that you're going to be thinking, like, what am I doing with them? But that's where I want your help as well, where it comes to my Myodermermics or my meat ants, because there is some stuff going on with them, and, well, it's not stuff going on with them, they're just doing them. But what I want to do is get your advice, because I've got some ideas for them, and at the moment I'm not entirely sure where I want to go with them at the moment. And I also shot myself in the foot because they do need an expansion, but as I said in my video with them, I connected, I didn't put any expansion ports on it, so I completely messed up. Hey Pavance, it's good to see you, mate. So I completely messed up with them, but yeah, so I'll just crack on, shall I, and show you what's going on. Now, I have not shown my leaf cutter ants for a very long time, and the reason for that is one, because not much has been going on with them, generally speaking. Not so much of why I've not shown them, but what has happened is that their fungus has practically disappeared. So I'll be showing you some of them and what I've got going on today. I have got a prototype product there from Wakushi, so bear that in mind when I'll talk about that when you see it, and you'll understand that that is a prototype. So there is some working points with it as well for Wakushi. Personally, I think it's doing fine, but he wants to change the top of it because I think he's not happy with the lids, if memory serves, but we'll talk about that in a second. I will show you my, I'll probably then show you my, couldn't think of the name, Carabera diversa. I'll show you my Carabera diversa because they've kind of moved in. I don't know, I've not been watching Holifer's videos. Has Olive had the same issue with his acros as well? I am shameful. The only person that I've been keeping up to date with videos has been Ants England, because I've binge watched hers the other night. So I've not really been keeping up with anybody else. Oh, and obviously PJ Ants, I've been keeping an eye on his videos as well, but unfortunately I've not really been watching many of those, and that's because time, and I've not been sleeping much recently, so I kind of really need to get on that as well. But anyway, I'll stop talking rubbish as I normally do and stop looking at my face, which is hideous and horrible, and we'll go straight onto my ants. Now, the angles are going to be terrible just because of the way I've organised my table, so bear that in mind, but we'll crack straight on. And if you've got any questions, by the way, guys, by all means, fire them at me. Can you show the Caraberas? I will be doing that in a very second. Who else? Carabera's got the first majors, the size. Yep. I've got some big majors. I'm not sure I'll be able to see it on this video because any other one. Sorry. I'll show you the. I lost my train of thought because I was reading the thingies pop up. What was I going to say? I've lost it. Let's just go on to ants. Whee! So this was the setup that you guys are fully aware with my leaf cutters. Now these my acros. If you can see here from this video, I'm going to try and keep it steady. There we go. If you can see here from this video, this was the prototype product, and this was what I alpha tested, I think it was, or beta tested, I can't remember which, from Akushi. I'm still using it because as you can see here, they're using it as their trash. That's not the problem. What the problem was, if you remember, this is my fungus. Now, believe it or not, I have been feeding these fresh rose petals because they're not lasting long in my garden. So as soon as they're flowering, I'm cutting them off, sticking them in. And I've also been using, what is it? Look what they're called, elderflower leaves, because they're quite sugary. So they're quite happy to cut that up. But literally, this fungus was half this size until I started intensive feeding them. And now it has grown, but if you remember before, it was up near the top and occupying about 2/3 of this setup. But unfortunately, they've had a massive dieback with the fungus. So yeah, I was starting to get a bit worried about it, but the amount of growth from the fungus I've had recently, I'm starting to think that maybe that's not a major issue. Well, it is still a major issue, but I'm starting to think they're recovering now. Now this setup, I've already spoke to Rikushi about it anyway. I have had some issues with this. Now, if you remember when I did a review of this, you'll notice here where the hydration was. Now, I said in passing that I would like to have seen some mesh across there because just in case they ever dug through into this area. And cheers, KB. I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, this mesh area here. Because I was worried that they might dig down and get into it. Unfortunately, that is exactly what happened. So I'm not sure if I can dare risk it. If you can just see there's an ant in there. Oh, look, yeah. They do get bigger ones than that in there as well. You could just see that there is ants in there because I managed to dig down through there. Also, I don't know why, but my sensor's battery lasts all of 3 seconds and then it stops. So I've kind of not bothered with that anymore. But other than that, yeah, I can't really fault that setup. But yeah, mesh in this area desperately needed. So what you'll see here as well is I've used one of these. I've got a T connector now. Rikushi did send some. I think I've got them. If you bear with me, I'll see what I've got. Where did I put them? Sid sent some. Here we go. Now Sid sent some of these. Now this is what Rikushi makes for them, but they did right angles. But what I wanted was a T junction. Now he's does a T junction, but I needed it pretty pronto-ish because I really wanted to get set up this new outworld that I've got for them. So what I had to do was 3D print this myself. Now it's nowhere near the good quality that Rikushi prints his off at, obviously, because he's a master of 3D printing. I'm just do it on by the by. But yeah, so I made 3D printed that so I could connect it all up. And what I've actually done is connected it to this. Now this is practically an S5 nest. I'm sure Rikushi will correct me on this. An S, look, there you go. An S5 outworld, sorry, not nest. And what he's done is he's put high up this extra connector there, so his wider connecting can connect to it. Now that works fine and it's great, but what I found, which is this, yeah, the S5, this is what I find really interesting about this, is that mine, once they drop into this, they will not climb out of it. Now I know I've seen videos of Sid's ants and they're climbing up here quite happily on the acrylic. Mine, on the other hand, will not climb this acrylic at all. And to the point of when I first connected it all up, I had a number of dead in the outworld because they dropped down and wouldn't climb up. So initially I used this little bit of stick connected to it, but it broke over time. So I've got this nice big one here, which goes all the way over to the side. Now I don't know why mine won't climb the acrylic when his clearly does. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. It's confusing. But yeah, mine aren't for some ungodly reason. So these guys, as you can see from the workers, I wonder if I could get a better angle. As you can see from the workers here, they've got plenty. They're doing well in numbers wise, but the fungus has just took a big hit, which isn't cool. It's good to see some condensation there as well, actually, which just isn't cool. But I've got loads cutting around as well, so that I will do a more in-depth video on my leaf cutters at some point in the near future. Put the lid on properly, there we go. And that one as well, there we go. I will do an in-depth video into these in the near future, but what I do actually like, you can't really see it because this outworld's in the way, but I love the fact that you got that big long stick coming down. I'm looking through the other outworld here, and you can see them running across it, as you just did in the video earlier. So that's pretty cool. I do really like that. Moving swiftly on, these are my Carabera diversa. Everybody loves the diversa, I must admit, and they are pretty cool. Now, this is the S2 nest outward, I think it is, if memory serves, and I've still kept it connected. Don't know why I kept it connected off the top of my head. There was a reason at the time. I think I might have said it in my last video. I can't remember, but yeah, it's still there. So I connected this to the S5. Now, those of you remember, and going back to what somebody asked about my, there we go, if we just put this there like that, there we go. Somebody asked about my Geminata. My Geminata have gone, and this is one of their outwards. I cleaned it all out. I reapplied the, what is that stuff called? Hot glue around it to stop any potential escapees and stuff like that, because when I washed it, it came off. But yeah, they're doing all right in here. You can't really see the trails forming as much, but they do get really busy. I'm not sure if you can see that roach in the background there. They're really busy around that. Unfortunately, this won't be able to zoom in. But what you'll notice in my video, I did say about taking the plunge and using the mineral oil to use as a barrier. But as you can see all the way along here, they've been sticking dead to it. So what I've done today actually is I've applied some PTFE around here as well, just in case. But what I need to do is at some point, preferably before they get too big, is I need to clean all this off and get rid of this mineral oil, because it clearly isn't working. I know diversas are so cool, I absolutely love them. But let's have a look in the nest. This was the Wakushi MS 5.5 that I connected up. As you can see here, they've got, I can't zoom in because I'm really with the macro shotty kind of stuff, and the quality does get terrible, so I do apologise. But yeah, you can see that some of the ages are occupying that area, and there is some brood in there. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading the comments there, sorry. But you can see they're doing fine and dandy actually. This area's been used as a bit of a trash area, but then again, I'm not too concerned, because if we look through here into that old nest, you'll see, zoom out so it's not so pixelated, you'll see that it's absolutely rammed full of brood again. The queen is just, where's my finger? There it is. The queen's just around here. Let me see if I can get the light on it a bit better for you guys so you can see it. Yeah. No, you can't really see it that well. I think you can just barely see it. So the queen's in there, and the brood's absolutely rammed in there as well. Yeah, I really rate the MS series of nests, to be honest. I think they're really good. Everything I've put in them, I've done pretty much well with it. Yeah, the mineral oil barrier, I knew that I'd be on for a loser with it, with this one, with the diversa, but I thought it was worth a go, so that's why I've done it. Look at the queen moving across there. I love her so much, she's so pretty. I can't wait to introduce a new queen to these guys. And look at that major there as well. Oh my word. Look at her. There she is. Oh, she's a biggie. She's not quite super major, super duper majors yet, but she is an absolute monster. She's huge. These ants are just so cool. Now, what I was actually going to do with these, I've not decided not to. Now, as you'll notice before when I did the intro video while I was waiting to sort my life out, you got this random bit of tubing here. Now, this random bit of tubing goes round the back there, and then it goes up there to an outworld, which then cuts across the top here, and I've got this up so I can see the videos, see the comments if I need to. It cuts across the top, and then it goes behind the Saturn V, and there was going to be an outworld connected to that. I'm zooming in my finger, sorry. An outworld connected up there for it, and you can see the connector with the cotton wool stuck in it. Now, that was the plan that was what I used for my Solenopsis. Let me just get this so I can pop the camera. Sorry guys, I know I'm not freaking cool at this. I know I'm not great at this lively malarkeys and this camera skills I just don't have. But yeah, so what I was going to do was I was going to connect all of my Solenopsis connected to that. If you remember from that video, when I gave up on them finally because I was going away and I was worried about my wife if they got out and stuff like that. So I disconnected it, but I've kept the tube in there because I was thinking that I might connect my Carabera to it. Now, I've kind of moved away from that idea now. Now my Carabera are going to need a lot of space, and they're going to need the room, the areas to roam. But I'm also very conscious that the Carabera, the Geminata, were able to get out of that kind of setup because of the outworlds. And I know that Carabera are very escape. Once they get to a large enough size, they then become very keen to escape as well. So I'm going to need to look at a more sealed outworld kind of setup for them. So I'm probably going to look at the Rakushi one. Now I've actually got another Rakushi S5 sat, not doing anything, in its wrapper still on by the floor. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but that will come into the conversation a bit later when we move on to my Acromyrmex. And we'll have a look there, and you'll see my thought process at the moment. I still need to clean them out and feed them because I've not done it yet today. That's the only species I haven't done because I thought I might look at doing that while I'm here talking to you guys. But I'm going to stop for a beer. Cheers. Sansabinus, please. Yes, my Sansabinus. I will get them out for you right now. So let's move, come around. Whee! Give you watching the Carabera. Now my Caraberas, I've actually had a bit of an issue with them, to be honest. See, I'm using the jelly pots, and they don't really touch the jelly pots. You see at the back there, I've got one of my liquid feeders there. Sansabinus are coming up next to Swezies. I've got one of my liquid feeders in the background there with honey in it, and that's been there a couple of days and needs to come out, to be fair. But it's been there a couple of days and they've barely touched it. And they've barely touched the jelly pots. Now, I'll be really interested. Messors are coming up as well. The Messors are going to be a pain because of the way I've set the outworlds up. Hood gets bitten. It's very true. But what are they moving around there? Yeah, but these guys, I do love them to pieces. The Carabera, I think they're absolutely fantastic. There will be loads more videos of coming out of these guys, and obviously, I think my next biggest point is when I spot a super major, which I haven't done yet. And you're right, the Carabera are all about protein. They've been a little bit protein starved recently, so that's why I think they've not burst out into as much as they had. Do you open up the diverse hood? I dare you to open them and cheeky steal them. No, it's that's fine. I'm not getting bitten, pumpkin. Don't be talking rubbish. Anyway, let me get my Sansabinus out before as I probably promised them. Sansabinus, where are you? This is you. Yeah. Where we are, I think it's also worth mentioning as well that all of my Conley test tube Conleys, that if you remember, how much do I feed my Carabera? I've actually moved on to a large. I don't know why I've cut my head off. Where's my little proppy thing? I've actually moved on to a large dubia roach every couple of days now. So they are. There we go. So they are very protein hungry. Now, if you look at the size of the brood, you won't actually think that they need that much food, but they consistently take it and they finish off the cockroach completely. So clearly they need a large dubia roach, about 2 a week, possibly more. So yeah, and they are very protein hungry. So that's what I feed my Carabera. And like I said, I've got the jelly pots and the honey water there if they choose to, but they just don't seem very sugary sweets insensitive. Hood, make the sacrifice, get bitten. No, I'm not getting bitten today, guys. But what we'll move on to Sansabinus, because that's what I said I was going to do, so bear with me. Whee! So, like I said, my Sansabinus were one of the Conleys that actually defend themselves against the dreaded Solenopsis in one of my other videos. What I had noticed about them is that they weren't producing any fresh eggs. Now, I need to be mindful that it is towards the end of the season for these girls. If memory serves, the Sansabinus do hibernate. Let me get some light on the situation. There we go. I can't remember if she lost many workers. Yeah. No, that's my phone. Sorry, trying to get some light on it. Oh, thanks, Auntie. I appreciate it. Give me your Carabera. Maybe not. But as you can see from these, she's actually doing okay. She has got the very smallish amount of brood. She's been a bit sheepish since the whole Geminata episode where they got attacked. But she has got some larvae there, and I think she's got some fresh eggs, but they have dropped off. She did lose a number of workers, but I seem to have about 15 to 20 there currently, so she's not doing too bad at all. I've still got them in the same setup where it is just a test tube and the Antboy UK Elite Small Nest, I think it is. So yeah, I've recently fed them today, and I did actually clean them out, but as you can see there, they got a bit messy again. But yeah, they've been cleaned out. So my sabinas are actually doing okay. But what I will do is I'll also move on to my other one thing. The ones that I am very pleased with is my says. Now the reason I say that is because my says they took a massive beating by my Solenopsis. They were the ones that let me switch it around again. God, look at the sweat on that I've got. Holy Jake. Yeah, so my Sansabinus, my Camponotus says were the ones that really took a massive hit without actually being wiped out by my Solenopsis. She lost just about all but I think one of the workers, where the worker was protecting what was left of the brood. The queen had moved to the end of the test tube and was defending, was the last line of defence against the Camponotus, not the Camponotus, against the Geminata. Reminds me of Geminata stream ago, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get £150, and anything that I got from that YouTube take half, so I think I only got about £49 of it. Anyway, but yeah, I did put my hand in the stingers, but that's not happening again, guys. Yeah, so the Says were defending the line. The queen was the last line of defence because all the other workers had been killed and taken away by Solenopsis, and she defended the line along with one worker. Now what I'm doing here is just going to show you how she is now. And she's made a really good recovery. I was really concerned about her as well because she'd stopped producing any eggs for a while, but you can't see it with this camera, but I did have a look earlier today. She has got a fresh batch of eggs in there as well, so she's settled back down. They do rob you blind. She's settled back down and she has produced more eggs. And you can see there, I've got plenty of pupae as well. And from one worker, I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 workers, 10 workers, which was one in the outworld, which she originally had 9 workers and then they all got wiped out but 1. So she's made a good recovery. I can't remember off the top of my head if the Says need to hibernate. I believe they do, but there are like 15, so it's more of a dispause than it is a full-blown hibernation if memory serves. I'm not entirely sure. What I'll probably do is just lower it down to 15, but I need to do my research on it because I'm not entirely sure. Now, like I said, I'm really pleased that she's settled back down again, and she's... I'm never ever going to get bullet ants because I know you guys are going to want me to get stung by them. So that's a nada. I need to do an update on these guys anyway because they were gifted to me by Ants HQ, and I really owe it to him as well. And like I like to do with people that help me out with ants and stuff. Because I don't know why, but retailers don't generally trust me with their products when it comes to like ant setups and stuff. No ideas why. Maybe you guys can help me out with that one. But yeah, ant retailers, they do still send me free stuff from time to time, but not very often. And when I do, I like to highlight that. So I really want to do another video on these. Not only that though, because they've done so well to recover from the Solenopsis attack. They've absolutely done really, really well. So what ants do you want to see next, guys? Let me know. What I will do while you guys, God save, oh my word, the Queen. Yeah, did you guys watch the funeral today? I did, to be fair, and it was... English do pomp and ceremony very well, and let's not do the hashtag hoods get bent by diversa because I don't want it. But I'm going to get my Camponotus Pheidole, I think it's called. Pheidole. Now these are another really pretty Camponotus species as well. Let's move them out of the way. There you go. Very skittish again. Now she's not doing as well. Now there is another 2 workers in the outworld. So she's got 5 workers, and she's got 1 larvae, couple of larvae there as well. Oh no, she's got 2 more workers in the other test tube. So if you see this, she is, and I've got another test tube there. Now the water in that one's actually run out, as you can see. So yeah, this is from Ancom, Fedchidkoi. Yeah. So this is the fresh test tube that I've connected. It's had water. It's been connected for a bloody long time, and they still haven't moved because they're stubborn. So I've just left them to it where there's a 2 test tube set up. Like I said, I'm not in any rush to force moves with ants, because if I can make them to move at their own steam, I will do, because it's unnecessary stress then, rather than exposing intense light to it, where you've got your light over it, and it stresses the queen out and forces them to move. I find it a lot better if I just generally leave them as they are, just wrap them in, keep both test tubes in the dark, and let them move when they choose to, which reminds me to go do that. So yeah, I really do like them, the Camponotus. And to tell you the truth, I've had quite the Camponotus curse up until recently. Touching on a related question, I've had acro elites in my Connolly, females only this year, males and females together. I was under the impression that it was one or the other. I can't answer that question, mate, because I don't actually know. Generally speaking, when I get elites in my ant setups, I can tend to roll my eyes now, because that means that they're going to start investing heavily in producing elites, and not necessarily to continue the colony. I find that with my Camponotus. In fact, I'll show you them next. I find that with my Camponotus nicobarensis, every time they're producing elites like they currently are, they then go have a bit of a die-off in worker numbers. So it's a bit of a catch-22, to be fair. Let me just put these away for now. Shite. And what I will do is I'll talk about my other Camponotus species. Now I actually moved these into the Venus nest today. Now I'm not sure if you can see the worker. There's one of them. This is my Camponotus ligniperda, I think it's called. They're a European Camponotus species. This was actually gifted to me by one of my Patreon supporters, believe it or not. He got 2 Connollys, but even though she took us, if you remember rightly from the last live I did, or my last video where I talked about the damage from my Camponotus, from the Geminata attack, these actually lost quite a few workers. But as you can see here, it is not phased her at all. She's probably got about 20-30 workers there, and a load of brood she's sitting on. These will hibernate soon, so I need to start looking at making them a bit lower, start reducing the temperature soon. Probably not going to do it as of yet. You got to peel that off. Yeah, I know I need to peel it off, but I haven't, because I not really need to view them when the cover's on. So I've just left it on for now. I'm not too bothered by it. But yeah, my ligniperdas are doing really well. I connected them to the Venus nest recently, early today, sorry, because the water was getting a bit funky. Hibernations come in, and I wasn't convinced that water was going to last for the whole of winter, so I've given the option of moving if they choose to, and obviously they've still got this outwell connected. Now, like I said before, the limitations of the Venus nest are kind of mitigated now that he's got an entrance in the end, so you can connect outwell to it, so then it makes the whole thing more usable, in my opinion. And because of that, I do actually like the Venus nest. I know it's going to be Wakushi's probably going to be like saying, "Ha, told you so." But I do actually like the Venus nest. I use it quite a fair bit, and you can tell it is hot in here because I've got a right sweat on. The queen fits in. Yeah, she does, because the queen's actually in the largest hole. I reckon she'll get through the medium hole as well quite easily. The small hole in it she might struggle with, but she'll definitely get through the first 2 holes at the best. But don't be fooled by the queen. She might look big, but you'll probably find that she can get through most small gaps as well, because she's a bit of a ninja. Sorry, I was distracted there. Yeah, I am the OG troll boy for that, I must admit. Damn hood sexy fav. What's fav? Aerodynamics. Okay, then let me put this Venus nest away and I'll get the aerodynamics out. We'll talk about them. So just bear with me a second as I move these over back to where they're supposed to be. There we go. Now this is going to be difficult to move, so just because of the current setup, so bear with me please, peeps. Fuscas have not done well, not at all, mate, but we'll talk about that in a sec as well. How can I do this? Oh, shite. Now, clearly, my ant setup isn't warm enough for these guys. So this is my meat ants. So, because you can't film properly where they are. Sorry, I'll get a bit of that. You can't, because most of my ants iPad for live streaming. So yeah, I can't really get the angles to film it. So this is why I moved them over. Now it's not very streamlined for the live stream, I get you, but needs must. Anyway, that's them. They are getting absolutely huge, massive. You'll see here that I had a heat cable across here, so I know full well that they've put the brood there here because of the heat cable. Now if you look at this nest, the heat cable was just tucked under there and they've put the brood there as well. But yeah, they've got absolutely tons of larvae, pupae all over the place. The queen is just there. I know I need to get my honey pots again. They are my dream species, but as I talk about my personal life towards the end and what my issues are, you'll realise that I can't afford them anymore. So I won't be getting them this year at the very least. But if you look there though, I've got loads of brood, more brood, more brood. Got some brood in the test tubes, and ooh, let me get this off. And condensation there is quite bad, but I've got more brood in here. So yeah, these girls have been absolutely fantastic. I won't lie, I've thoroughly, I do enjoy them. They're very messy in the types. If you see in the background, that's just from one cockroach, I think it was, maybe two cockroaches, and they've stacked up in a nice corner, which makes it easy to look after. As you can tell, that honey needs replacing as well. This all needs cleaning out. I haven't done it yet, believe it or not. But they keep it in a nice corner, but they're just messy about the food, but they've got it. But as you can see, this is the Saturn V nest, and they've pretty much chinned off the test tubes completely, and they've moved over to just sticking the brood down here, which is difficult because I can't just do a quick easy disconnect, connect to a new outworld. Now what I was looking at doing is with these guys, let me move these back a bit more so you can get a better view. Oh, there we go. If we put that right, there we go. There we go, that's better. So maybe it wasn't better. There we are. So stop it. So yeah, so what I might be doing is that I've got that S5 nest that I was talking about before, which I could connect up to this as well. I was going that before the LC. What was that, mate? Sexy hood, sexy face. Yeah. So what I was going to do is I could potentially connect the S5 that's a bit redundant at the moment to this setup. But the only issue with that is, well, it's not an issue. It's going to be a problem I've got. If you noticed that I've not actually connected, why is that racket outside? I've not actually connected any connectors to this at all, so I can't easily connect a new outworld to it. but I don't think they're going to easily move out of this at all anyway, and it's going to be quite the pain in the bum. Yeah, I need some laptops for it that might be ideal, because obviously the nests that I've got aren't really ideal at the moment. The laptops will hold a lot of space. If you guys don't know what the laptops are, that's the laptop. We'll talk about that in a bit, because that's got my Camponotus nicobarensis in. But yeah, but I'm more over the size that these guys get so big and stuff like that, that I want to... I'm thinking about connecting them up to this. Remember this bit here, connecting them all the way up, and then across around there, put an outworld there. Then I've got options to expand up and down or anything like that where I need to with these guys. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, to expand their space, to give them all the kind of area they want to go around that they can. They did slow down in the summer due to the fact that they come from Australia. I don't think so, mate, because I've only had this species a couple of months and they've absolutely exploded. So and when this is our summer, so technically Australia's winter, so one would assume that if they're going to slow down, they would have slowed down. But then again, they might have not had the climate cues to slow down. But these guys don't hibernate, so I don't know. Maybe they won't there all year round and won't be affected by it. The Tar Heel styles, they have a high success rate. For these guys, I'm not really, don't think I need to really go out that far. But not only that, the Tar Heel in the UK is really expensive to get hold of. They're not cheap. Now, Tar Heel have really got a good reputation for the honeypot ants, and I think just about everybody that's been successful, it's not very focused, that is it. Everyone that's been successful has, in fact, it looks like my internet's like a brick today. Everyone that's been successful with it has, with honeypots, the majority have been in the Tar Heel ones, but yeah, I haven't quite gone that. I need some mumricas. I don't need any more ants at the moment, guys, but like I said, that will come apparent. But anyway, I will stop talking rubbish about these guys. Now, I do hope you enjoy them, these guys. What do you guys think I should do? Just connect the S5 up for ease, or do you think I should connect them up to the tubing that goes around the room? I'm very tempted to do the latter, but then I was going to save that for the... excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. But I was going to potentially connect my Carabera up, but I think I might just connect... yeah, the S5, but I'm thinking like connect these guys to the tubing that goes around the room. I think that would be pretty cool, to be fair. Just have a quick drink. Right, cool. So you've seen that Macronomics, you've seen my leaf cutters, you've seen my Carabera diversa, you've seen... Oh, let's get another one. I don't think so, because they seem to climb up this quite well. As you can see, there's one up there at the top, but I think that's because they get near the top there, actually. Thailandis, I will show you them in a second. Yeah, I will show you them in a second. Let's just move these girls out over to the side for now, just so they're out of the way. Let's put that cover back on. How hot is it? It's 27.5 degrees. Just because somebody just asked, and they're very quick to cover. These are my Thailandis. Let me get... Right, these guys, Sid warned me when I got them, but I wanted them anyway because they're so cool because of the big head. But these guys are boring as sin. They literally don't ever move out the test tube. Even though they've got a unmated queen in there, believe it or not, they've got a winged queen in there that they produced. So it's a fully mature colony of maybe 100 workers. Not a big colony at all. The majors are awesome. They've got nice big heads. And yeah, I mean, can I zoom in a bit? It's probably the best I can do, but I can't imagine the quality is going to be much better for you guys. Let's have a look. Quality's not great, but yeah, as you can see here, they've got some brood there. They've got the cool majors. Look at the size of that head there. And there's a winged
you could just make out the wing across there, I think it is. So you've got a wing queen in there. Now, believe it or not, this is as big as they get. They don't ever come out of the test tube. This is all full of goo because I have to feed them in the test tube. They've got an outworld with seeds in it because apparently they like seeds. But I have never seen them in here. But clearly that worker's come out to die out here, or she's been moved out. Now, apparently they do take seeds. I've not seen it yet, them ever take seeds, but apparently they do. So that's why they're there. I've got a test tube there ready for them to move into if they ever choose to, because the water is all dried up. But yet again, they don't want to move. My birthday's in June, mate. Yeah, they don't ever want to move. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else I can really say about these guys. I mean, they're cool. The fig seeds are their fave. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, I mean, they're cool looking, but they're just not overly interesting. And you have to feed them in the test tube, believe it or not, because they will not move out that test tube that I've ever seen. So, but they've got plenty of brood. I mean, they're growing, I guess, because you can see the eggs in the brood. But the numbers have been pretty much the same. They are cool though. I mean, for Instagram photos, yeah, they're great. They look cool and stuff like that. They just need to move into a test tube that's not disgustingly dirty like this. But yeah, as you can see, I got these from Antantics. Now, I'm not sure if he's still got them in stock. They're never going to feature. I don't think they're ever really going to feature on my channel, because other than these live streams to see how they're getting on, because they're just so boring. They literally, this is it. You can imagine trying to do a video about this. This is it. All they do is sit here and do nothing. So, yeah. I mean, if anyone's got a decent sized colony of these that's bigger than mine, by all means, I'd love to see it. Can we see the fuscas? You can, but you're not going to be missing much. There's not much to show on them, to be honest. They're pretty not doing great, as it were. So these are my fusca. This colony had about 20 workers. This year she has not laid any eggs in any shape or form. The roofers, I haven't got any more, they died. This is pretty much the only part my Formica, my Formicas that I've actually got left. All the others have died now, believe it or not. And this girl's on her way out as well. I've done everything right. I don't know why she hasn't produced eggs this season. She's 2 years old. She produced a load of brood towards the back end of last season, where she got up to about 30 workers. I was expecting her to boom this season, and she hasn't. Yeah, it could be the temp, I guess, because my room's been heated to 25 degrees for my leaf cutters, so it might be the temperature. They can't be kept in a warm room. That might be it then, matey. But I'll probably, if she dies out, I'll probably look at moving her into a cooler room. Yeah, I wouldn't want to keep too sensitive. Yeah, I might look at doing that next season if she survives this. I'll hibernate her again, and hopefully she'll come back with force. She's got, I don't know how many workers she's got left, about 5-6 workers there left, so hopefully she'll be okay. But yeah, if warm rooms wrecks them, that's exactly what's happened to my Formicas. I believe that she's the only one I've got left as well, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is on that one. Oops, sorry dog, didn't mean to disturb you. Oops. Just because we're talking about boring ants, let's have a look at my shield ants. These have just been fed as well. These are probably another. This is another species that I've never featured on my channel. My Messors are nice. Your Messors are at 35 workers. Good to hear that, bud. These are my Pheidole fluffy shield ants. I can't remember the name of them. People always tell me. I always get it wrong. But that's because I've not done a video on them because they're just so boring. Literally, this is it. You can. I mean, I'm not even joking. Look, watch this. I can put my hand in there. I can knock a worker, and there is very little to no response at all. They have got to be the most calmest ants ever. Look, nothing. Look, squish them into the corner. I'm obviously not going to kill them. See what I mean? They just don't react. Not one's on my finger at all. Not one. They're so placid. They're clearly scavengers. You would not want to be feeding these any live food because, yeah, exactly. No F's given. Because they won't hunt it. They'll just let it crawl all over them and be a right pain to them. Now these guys have got a couple of. They've been producing males for a while now, but I've got a couple of winged females in there. I've got, as you can see here. Do that with my diversa, no, because my hand will get covered in ants. So as you can see here, I've got plenty of drones, and if you look over here, I think there's one there, there's a winged female there as well. They've got a nice pile of brood, as you can see. They're doing all right, but just, yeah, they're just boring. They're great little ants to keep for my own little personal collection, as it were. But generally speaking, all my ants, my personal collection, they're just not interesting to show. But there's another winged female there, clear to see there, another queen. So yeah, there's not much to say about these. Just not overly interesting. I need to change that test tube actually. Now there's not much in there. I can take it out because all the workers are pretty much in there. I need to change it at some point too. But yeah, so anyway, what's that about me? Anti-Matt convinced Hood to get bicar. He's actually spoke to me about getting bicars, but at the moment, with the dramatic changes in my life that's about to occur, I cannot get them myself because I just don't have the time for them. How bad is their bite? Don't know. All right, what should we do now? Should we get right? Bear with me on this one, guys, because they're up here, so, and I can't really show them very well because I've just the way I've put them. Now the reason they're up here, even though I know they're a popular species, is because are you becoming a dad? I wish, matey. I would love to be a dad. So yeah, this is my Messor barbarus. As you can tell, I've got them in this glass out. Well, I've just given them a roach today, and you can't really see it very well. I do apologise. But as you can see, they've absolutely swarmed it. So that's a full-size adult dubia roach. They're in this double nest setup, and they've got that S4, I think it is, which I've never disconnected. As you can see there's plenty of space in there, and you've got the dark cover. Now, they're going to hate this. There we go. As you can see, I clearly need the two nests because that lot wouldn't fit in there as well. They're doing pretty fine. They're liking this setup, which is good. And if you look over in this one as well, excuse me, you can see my Messor barbarus are doing fine and dandy. They're doing really well, to be fair. I didn't think this out would be big enough for them. But the two outworlds together seems to be doing them fine, and they're doing pretty all right. I don't know. I've not really paid much attention to them because my life's been so busy at the moment. But yeah, so they are doing fine. There we go. I got messages this year about 8 weeks ago. 15 workers now. You can't have the diverses, no. I'm not actually looking at giving any ants away. The only ants I've ever given away were my Geminata, I think it was. Lagus nigers, nothing to talk about there. They're my Pheidole nodas. They're still doing fine, as you can see. There's a big pile of rubbish there. Dirty, not going to show them, but they're still there and live and kicking. Now, I am stood on a chair which swivels, so I could fall off, so bear with me. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, shall I show my Arenaris? Because I love my Arenaris as well. Here we go. Right, my Arenaris are doing fine and dandy. Interviewing is not something that's really crossed my mind, to be fair. Yeah, I guess I could going forward, but it's not something that's on my mind overly. Arenaris though, let's talk about these. These are doing really well again. I've got about 150, maybe about 150 workers, which isn't a bad size colony. They're in the Saturn setup. I've recently just placed that test tube today with fresh water. But back to what I said in my video about these guys, they are slow, steady, they're not overly active. They're very much solo hunters. But if you poke the bear, as it were, as you can see, look at her clawing out at me. I can't really see it with the resolution on the YouTube, which is a shame, but you can see it on my video. They're very, very aggressive when they're challenged. Look, there he goes biting me, trying to bite me. They are very aggressive, but they are very much like a solitary hunters. But mine are doing very well. They've been absolutely, as you would expect from Messors, they've been absolutely zero issue for me at all. Can you see the queen there? There we are. There's the monster of all queens just there in this test tube here. Got a nice pile of brood. This is the kind of standard size brood pile I get. It's probably bigger than it's been forever, but it's not a huge pile of brood as you might expect. But then again, these are large species of ants, which means development is going to be fairly slow, and they're quite long-lived as well. They do live for a long time. I've cleaned out the rubbish pile today, as you can see. I haven't gone and just cleaned up the excess and left the poop. But there wasn't many dead workers in there. I can't remember how long I've had these for now. Maybe about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know. But yeah, they are great. But like standard Messors, they're not overly interesting. That's with like... Yeah, they're just not interested, really. They're a bit boring. But saying that, though, they've proper cut into that cockroach, considering I've put this on there now, and you can just see that worker on top of that roach, pulling that roach apart, so that's pretty cool. See if I can zoom a bit better. There we go. So they've been quite busy pulling that apart. Yeah, we could have a chat on StreamYard, mate. I can look at doing that at some point in the near future when I get some time. You can just see her pulling that apart. I love this kind of stuff. I love watching them dismantle it. People often ask me, what do I feed them? Protein, Messors. I always feed my Messors protein when they get to a certain size, because as you can tell by my Messor barbarus, they're quite happy to take protein. They're in the arts of cockroaches and stuff like that. But these guys are... Hey Chris, how you doing, mate? But these guys are just as well happy to take a cockroach or two, even though they've got a big pile of seeds, and you can see that they've got a nice big store of seeds there as well. They're still always happy to take a roach or two. Now, I feed these maybe a large dubia roach, which is what this is, maybe once or twice a week. I don't go crazy with the protein. In fact, I don't do it twice a week. I do it once a week. Yeah, the Messor barbarus are doing cool. Someone just asked me that in a private chat. Sorry, guys. Confuse you guys. Yeah, sorry. So these are doing great as well. Like I said, feeding protein, there's nothing to be scared of when it comes to Messors. They've definitely got the brood to deal with it. Let's move these onto these again so you can watch these guys. I think that's about it, actually. I can't think of anything else I need to show you guys. Oh my word. Bad hood. I have not shown you how these are doing. Let's zoom out. Right, so it's not fuzzy on yours. Literally, this is the mineral oil that's dripped down, so that's why it's a bit pants on the old, bit fuzzy. I will have to clean that up for next time. But yeah, as you can see, these are doing absolutely fine. They've got a nice big... the outworld this is the large S6 outworld, I think it is, if memory serves. This is what the large outworld that had my Solenopsis in before they all got out. So yeah, they're doing fine and dandy, nice. If you notice here, this wooden outworld used to be outside, but what happened is they chewed through the cabling, and just for ease of me, I disconnected it and stuck it in here so they can have it as a satellite nest. So that wooden nest is now in the outworld, believe it or not. And at the back, I just tidied it up and connected that little prototype thing I got free from AntCon from Wakushi. Now these guys are in the laptop nest, so let's see if I can open this up so you can have a quick look. Nobody asked me to guesstimate how many of these I've actually got in the arts of Nikos and how many workers. I've got no idea. But this is what I was talking about before. If you look here, and you've seen them in the outworld as well, there is an absolute ton of male drones. And there's one of the queens there. You can just see in the bottom left corner of that bottom right chamber. And it's fuzzy as anything. Is it fuzzy for you guys as well? Because the quality on my PC is really bad for this. Can you see the paresis? You can. I'll have to move them over though, so bear with me. But yeah, if you look here, they've got a nice pile of brood there, and they've got a nice pile of brood here as well. Hopefully these are more workers than they are elites, because I've got enough male drones cutting around as it is, and I don't need any more. But yeah, so they're doing fine. And if you look up here as well, this is the pants and Canada nest, and they've got loading that work outward as well. I've got some tubing that goes down here and connects it up to here as well, just to give them a bit of roaming space and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know how many works I've got. Maybe one day I'll individually count them. Probably not. Yeah, true. I'll switch it round. So what I'll do is talk rubbish for a bit. Oh no, somebody wanted to see my paresis. Let me sort that camera out. Yeah, so somebody wanted to see my paresis. So what I'll do is I'll get them down now, and you can have a look. Now, if you remember rightly, that when they got attacked by the Solenopsis, they got attacked quite hard, but luckily enough they put up an absolutely valiant defense. And if you remember back to the video, and if you haven't seen it, by all means check it out, you'll see that one of the majors actually had a Solenopsis worker head attached to its antennae, where it was obviously attacked. Hey big bad goth, where it was attached to the antennae. Now they're doing all right. I'll go grab them. Give me a sec. Now these girls do like it hot, and I'm not talking about that in the music sense. This nest is literally always sitting at 30 degrees, so it is very, very warm. Very, very warm for them. I've fed these today. I haven't had a massive. I'm looking down at them. Sorry. I'll switch the camera around. There you go. So as you can see, these guys are doing fine. Now, these guys look absolutely silky and they look beautiful. I love the way the light reflects off them. They're great. They need a bigger outworld, to be fair. Or maybe to attach another one, I don't know. If you look in here as well, they're doing fine. There's been absolutely no cause for concern. They've got a nice pile of pupae and stuff like that. But yeah, the paresis are doing absolutely fine, dandy. I've probably got about 500. Give or take, maybe more. I don't know. I need to pay more attention to them, to be honest, because yet again I just leave them on the shelf and forget about them. But they actually did. One escaped. How did you get out? Nope, nope. Right, one's escaped. It's running all over the place. There it goes. Bye. Yep. Damn it. Right, I need to try and get that. It's gone. All right, let's just hope the. Right, so I've lost the paresis there. If she managed to get out and do a legate, I will keep an eye out, see if she comes back. Then I'll see if I can try and capture her. So, have you guys got any other questions you want to ask me? Would you ever get another Solenopsis geminata queen? Tessera, the answer to that is no. Even if somebody gave me it for free and said, here's £500, take this Solenopsis queen, it will be awesome, I love the content, the answer would be no. The reason for that is because they were such a nightmare for me. Let's get some light in the situation. There we go. They were such a nightmare for me. I'm absolutely sweating buckets. They were such a nightmare for me. They were horrendous. Vietnam style flashbacks. I tried my best to contain them. I did everything I could. I documented it in my live streams. I documented it on my videos as well. I was really pleased with the growth and how they did, and it was all great, funky and brilliant, and there was loads of content because there's always something going on for them. But then again, when they got out and they attacked and killed 3 of my other Connollies, that was the last straw. They wiped out. I've been so looking forward to getting my not my Camponotus, sorry, my Polyrhacus dives again. I got them at AntCon. I put them in terrarium, everything was going fine and dandy like sugar candy, then boom, they got out and they wiped out all but 3 of the workers of my Polyrhacus again, so means I'm going to have to go back with a sexy face. I'm absolutely sweating, it's so hot in here. So I am, I'm going to get them again, but I think I'm going to
not put them straight into my terrarium this time. I think what I might do is put them in one of Wakushi's weaver setups to let them grow a bit bigger before putting them into my terrarium, because if another ant gets out and gets in there, they should be big enough to defend themselves. But unfortunately, as you remember, they absolutely wiped them out. I lost a Legionnaire colony, and I lost a Camponotus colony as well. So that was definitely the drawing line, that I wouldn't go back to my Solenopsis. I tried so hard. I literally spent like 12 hours giving them a fresh setup and everything like that, and I thought it'd be great, but unfortunately I couldn't contain them. And how Ant Canada does it is with a lot of money, because with his setups he's got water set up around it, and he's got fish and stuff like that in there, so if they try and cross the water, they can eat, the fish can eat them. So yeah, I don't have those kind of resources, so I'm not able to keep them. But yeah, so if you've got any other questions, please ask. Let me move on to what's going on in my life. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you, chaps and chapesses, that my wife is leaving me. And because of that, I am now looking at moving houses sometimes in the near future. So what that means for me is I need to find another house. I will be buying another house, my expectation is. So hopefully I'll be able to take my dog and my ants with me as well. But what it does mean is there's going to be a lot of upheaval in my life coming up into the running up to the future. So this is why I might be slightly inconsistent with my videos and stuff like that. So please bear with me on that, guys. I know you guys are like, you know, you're my fans. I'm sure you're going to stick with me as much as you can. So please continue to support me, but just understand if my consistency in my videos starts to drop a little bit. It is what it is, guys. It's completely out of my control. It's not my doing. But like I said, it is what it is. If we could stay together, I would love to. But unfortunately, the situation is that she wants to leave, so she must go. So hopefully, once I get into my new place, I will be single for a while, and there'll be no interferences from anywhere. So I'll be able to set up a really cool ant cave, a purpose-made ant cave, unlike this one, which has been odds and sods that I've moved in, created my own little thing, and thank you guys. But I will have a purpose-built ant cave, is what I'm saying, rather than this, which will turn out to be a man cave where I was making models, playing computer games, and then when I got into the ant hobby, it kind of expanded outwards, and now it's a bit of a mishmash of everything. This will be a purpose-built ant cave. It will be designed in that regards. It will be an ant cave. I am intending to keep doing this because I enjoy making these ant videos. I enjoy passing on my knowledge, and I enjoy keeping ants, so I do intend to continue it. But I'm just hoping that if I can get that streamless, leaving this house, getting a new house, then hopefully I won't have too much of an issue continue with the upkeep of my ants and the content for you guys. I will say thank you to everybody as well, because you guys have been absolute rocks to me. You have supported me. My channel is, I think it's nearly up to 1,700 subs. Never expected anybody would want to talk to me for that, listen to me for that long. Never mind consistently turn up like you guys. I mean, at the moment I've got 35 people on live stream. That's the biggest I've ever had, to be fair. So, you know, I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate your guys' support. And it doesn't mean you have to donate money to me. It doesn't mean you have to subscribe to my membership or my Patreon or anything like that. It just means that you guys watch my videos and you interact with these comments and stuff. It really helps me. I've got a shaver's rash. Ew. It just helps with these comments and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean. Thank you. I like to think I've got a good sense of humour, but hey, I make light of most situations. But I do appreciate all your support, guys. Thank you very much, and I will end this live stream now, so I'm not boring you all to death too much, but I massively appreciate your continued support, and just bear with me going forward with all the changes that's happening in my life. But anyway, that's it for today then, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye. How do I stop this? There we go.